Welcome to Go Home Eat, a wrestling podcast. This is sports entertainment version of Pro Wrestling Podcast. We are going to go through Raw, SmackDown, and talk a little bit about a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell.
Woo!
That woo you just heard was Jushin of the famed Liger Brothers.
Yes. The long lost one.
Very, very long lost Liger brother. All right, Justin, what do we have here? We open this show up with Alexa in the ring surrounded by Red. Let him in, lights out, Red on again, Fiend entrance. Retribution surround the Fiend, Shield style, as Mustafa tells them, gets his men at the ready. The Fiend and Bliss never actively acknowledge
them at all.
Them at all. They don't look, they don't blink, nothing. They keep looking straight ahead. Lights out, lights on, and of course they're gone. Hurt Business is here, and we get the brawl, the commercial, the match. Lashley tour de force performance here. Ali does well when he's in there, but he does cower away periodically. But it is Lashley who he's in there with. Mustafa crawls away from the Dominator. T-Bar winds up tagging himself.
Are you really going to call him that?
Can I just call him Dominic?
Yes.
Dijakovic?
Yes.
I'll call him Dijakovic so we don't mix him up with the other guy.
Yeah.
Dijak, which would be so much better.
Yeah.
If they just called him Dijak, right?
Dijak sounds badass, dude.
It does. Okay, so Dijak tags himself in and takes the bullet right here and gets put in the Dominator by Lashley and taps. And they lose. Of course, the lights go out. And the Fiend is now on the apron.
In Dijak's spot, which is my favorite part.
In Dijak's spot, beside Ali. None of them know he's there until they look.
Uh-huh.
And then the Fiend runs roughshod over the faction. And T-Bar takes another bullet for Ali here, in which... Because Ali has the choice between fighting the Fiend or going to the Hurt Business, who await him outside the ring. And he chooses neither because... Dijak saves him and takes the Sister Abigail as the Fiend and them go to the top of the thing, and we cut to credits. What did you think about this first segment?
Thought if the plan was to really bury a faction you've made me watch for like 2 months now, the build up for, and then you put them in the ring and they immediately get walked over, I think that you've accomplished what you set out to do. Which I don't know exactly what that was, but...
Okay, Devil's Advocate. To play Devil's Advocate here, the leader of this faction looks like he's going into a program with the Fiend. Which is the most important part of the show.
Which he's gonna lose.
Yeah, but he's not gonna lose a rivalry.
His first rivalry as the new leader of a faction, he just got his whole crew walked through.
He got his crew walk through with Lashley and the supernatural power.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying, but you put him in there with a supernatural power and the Hurt Business against him. This is what you built me up to.
Right, and they did revisit this a little bit later on with a promo. We'll get to that in a second. But and I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way. I'm just. He's going.
Everything that happened is how it should have happened if you were scripting it, but you shouldn't have put them in there in that situation in the first place.
Right. You want him to win his first rivalry.
Yes.
Problem is, he probably shouldn't be winning a rivalry with either the Hurt Business
or the Fiend.
And he's in a program with actually both of them.
Yes.
So maybe because he's having to fight both of them, it makes more sense.
How? Because he started out with 20 guys and now he's only got 4 and he's getting beat up.
Well, we don't know that he's only got 4.
Yeah.
He's only shown us 4.
If he gets about 5 more.
Or if... How do I put it? Or if he were to utilize things other than wrestlers to help him.
Well, yeah. Like bats.
Well, he'll get there, won't he? He gets there in his next promo. Okay, here we go. I get where you're coming from, though. I think the majority of the people in the world think, not incorrectly, that Ali just got buried. But
I don't know if it's buried, but it left a bad taste in my mouth.
This could have happened 3 months from now.
Yeah.
After he'd won a couple things. Okay, AJ and a very huge bodyguard come to the ring.
Ninja-esque.
Dude, he's got himself. Now he has gone full Shawn Michaels.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, it's Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels.
Or it's Sid Vicious. Either
yes.
way. Yeah, absolutely. And Riddle comes. AJ's great in these things. He gives the old "I'm the best thing since sliced bread" promo, and Riddle comes out, and we wind up with a match, and it is a great match that AJ winds up winning because of the fact that every time Riddle kind of gets things going in his direction without making contact, the fact that a 7'4" bodybuilder man is on the outside of the ring that is not your friend sways those moments.
Yes, it does.
You can't quite do what you want to do. You can't kick AJ when he's laying down outside the ring because there's a guy standing there. You can't do the springboard because you have to look behind you because he's going to grab my ankle.
Yeah.
Those little things that Bobby Heenan can do and work, but when the guy's menacing, it really works. All work in AJ's favor. He gets to win, and the story's being told here.
Matt did a good job of selling scared, too.
Matt did a good job of everything. Mm-hmm. Especially selling scared. But he also he's becoming, for a long time when he wrestled, everything he did was his moves. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have to sell.
Yeah.
He's becoming a more giving performer.
Yes.
Which makes you better. Mm-hmm. You I think that with a Shayna Baszler, with a Matt Riddle, with somebody that really can fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very hard, probably mentally, because that wouldn't really knock me over. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing.
Or if you really tried this, I would tie you in 6 times.
You wouldn't really sucker me into a headlock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I would break that would be a Kimura, and you would lose your forearm and your shoulder. You know, that kind of thing. But I think he's learning to give and take with these guys he's wrestling with, and that's helpful, especially in this scenario.
In the long run, because it lets you tell stories better.
You have to.
Yeah.
If the story, the only time the story is really interesting and somebody running somebody over is short-lived, and it's to give us a time where the underdog can be formidable, right? But this was great, and as we're watching the match, I'm thinking to myself, how do you stop AJ Styles in this scenario?
Yeah.
He's the best anyway.
Yeah. If you give him that little edge, it's done for.
Right. Which says to me, Drew McIntyre has a problem on the horizon that he does not recognize yet. Okay, now we get a Drew promo backstage. There was nothing there. Lana versus Asuka in a title match. I cannot believe I just jumped over a Drew to get to Lana and Asuka, but I think it's deserved. This was better than I'd hoped for. Lana did a good accounting of herself. Of course, she gets caught in an Asuka lock. Most people are going to look good wrestling Asuka if Asuka wants them to. Mm-hmm. So she got to cheat a little bit because she's in there with the very best. But I did think Lana looked...
She did a great job it was short.
Everything she could do, right?
Yeah, it was short. It was okay. Got everything done. I think she did about as good a job as
she had. A couple moments where I got my kick in. Mm-hmm. She does a neat little roll, like a gator roll kick. Sometimes it's kind of good because she's acrobatic in her own way. She's a dancer, And then, of course, Baszler and Nia come out, and we wind up with them putting Lana through a table because... That's what we do on this show. We put Lana through tables.
Because Mira's on the other show. Not really. I don't know. Maybe they're not.
Probably.
Yeah,
but and so then they start to run their mouths about how they're on the same page, and just because we don't go on Instagram together doesn't mean we don't like each other. To which Lacey comes out, and then Peyton comes out. It looks like they're a tag team. We wind up with Dana and Mandy, the Riot Squad, and of course it's match time. We get I thought this was a very good match. The ending that led us into commercial had Lacey almost break her neck.
Oh my God!
Doing a roll off the apron onto them, and I think Nia's the one who caught her, but somebody got her before she really hit her head.
Yeah.
And then who was it? Was it Lana that went full on like crossbody into all of them right after that to give it that helter skelter feel?
Yeah.
And then of course, the champs win and retain, but I did think that they showed you the blueprint for getting the belts off of these guys is to put the blueprint to get the belt off of them is 10 people in the ring and something weird happens.
Yeah, they don't even have to get pinned.
There's only 2 stories you can tell. one is these two don't like each other, and Shayna drops Nia, Nia drops Shayna, and then you pin them. Or really weird scenario.
It's the same problem almost you got when you put the Brothers of Destruction together. When you had Kane and the Undertaker together.
If it's not Hunter and Stone Cold, who beats them?
Who the heck can even stay in?
Because you got to have a certain amount of cachet to go over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In those scenarios.
Yeah. So once you had them with the tag team titles, it was like...
Yeah. And to this show's credit, though, we're pretty far into this thing, and I thought it was pretty exciting.
So far, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we get Miz Morrison backstage. Tucker comes up, and he's furious, and you're trying to ruin Otis's life. You're draining his wallet, and Morrison did the little hype man thing where he said, you know, I'm your hype man. And I thought that was so funny because I do think that we are going to get a split between Miz and Morrison at some point.
I hope so.
Because you can see the Miz going deeper and deeper into this is serious.
Yeah.
You know, like he doesn't mind being the sophomore bully.
Uh-huh.
But a little bit of the Morrison slapstick begins to get on his nerves more and more as we roll through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Every couple of episodes, they sow that a little bit. And up next, a full-on concert from one of the up-and-coming artists in American music and culture, Elias.
Yes.
It's still rock and roll to me, damn it. That's what Billy Joel said.
Yes.
I don't care if it's good or not.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He left that part out of that song.
Elias looks like Willie Nelson on steroids.
By the way, it's still rock and roll to me by Billy Joel.
It's a great song.
Will always go down as one of the great, great songs.
Oh, it's excellent.
Billy Joel's, for a piano man, Billy Joel's rock and roll songs are just
top notch, dude.
Top. So good. Absolutely. Glass Houses is one of the great, great albums that anybody ever did.
Oh, excellent. Good call.
Freaking name of a record, too. Because everybody knows the same, you know.
Yeah.
Stones, Glass Houses. It's perfect. Okay, I'm sorry about that. This was terrible. That wasn't terrible. It was Elias lip-syncing with a band that wasn't really playing their instruments, with backup singers that weren't really singing.
It was Jeff Jarrett taken to the extreme.
Yes. And then you had a little bit of a break, and Elias decided we deserved an encore. And I'm not even commenting on like the song content or whatever, because I don't know that I even focused on that. I just kept thinking they're not really playing.
Uh-huh.
And then a guitarist, lo and behold, facing away.
Wait, let's not jump over Elias's ending. Good night. I love none of you.
That was really good. Really good. He's great. Elias is great at everything.
Yes.
And he's even great at this stuff. It's just the scenario is so over the top. It was kind of whatever. But the best part, if you want to go over the top, you put the hooded guitarist facing the amp, riffing like Edward Ludwig Van Halen.
Yes.
But he has on fighting gloves.
Yeah.
Which, who knew? Like, you know, Tony Iommi, I don't know if you know, Tony Iommi cut a finger off in a factory accident when he was a kid.
Oh.
Black Sabbath's guitarist. And he had to build his own prosthetic, which is part of what gives him that deep sound.
That's cool.
Jeff Hardy figured that out with fighting gloves.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Okay.
He truly is a charismatic individual.
Yes, he is. Oh, lo and behold, when he turns around, the guy that wasn't in his band was actually Jeff Hardy, who swings said guitar like a baseball bat. He would have decapitated that man if he had seen like that. You ever seen the footage? I mean, we're going really old school stuff here. The guy jumps on a stage and runs at Keith Richards, and he clinks him like it's a baseball bat.
Yeah.
So good.
You earned that, buddy. Dude.
Woo, Google that.
Keith
Richards hits guy like a baseball.
Keith had learned from dealing with Chuck Berry, man, that you
Yes.
don't play with people. You just waylay somebody if they come near you.
Chuck Berry's not bringing in he's not even bringing his own amp or band. He is, however, bringing a gun
Yes.
and a guitar.
And probably a razor blade in his shoe.
I used to hear that he would pull in 10 minutes late on purpose, walk directly into the manager's office, get his payment, then walk to the stage.
That's why you do it. That's why you do it.
Okay, and so that was fine, though, whatever. And then we get the New Day come out and get interrupted by Sheamus. And
Wait. Let's not gloss over the fact that Jeff Hardy with the best band impersonator jumping since CM Punk hit out in Alberto Del Rio's Mariachi Band.
Woo!
That was
so good.
I've forgotten that one.
So good. That Punk. Okay.
Don't worry, you'll never see Alberto Del Rio again. He
Right.
is going to prison.
Not unless you're planning on going to visit him.
Yes.
In which
don't
case,
go
you'll need
visit
to call ahead and make a reservation. So Kofi and Sheamus wind up getting into a match, and I'll be honest with you, I could watch these guys wrestle all day.
Oh, dude, come on.
And I think Sheamus has upped his game on the mic. He's upped his game in the ring. Kofi is clicking on all cylinders. You had Big E and Mark Henry both in the crowd.
Yeah, dude.
Kofi winds up going over right here. And I thought Big E in the crowd was a wonderful little touch if he wants to spend his Monday night doing that every now and then, because he openly rooting.
Yeah.
Like that really gives it the feeling of they're still the New Day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that, dude.
Absolutely.
I like this moment.
Yeah, and you have Mustafa Ali backstage, which we spoke of earlier with his faction, and he talks about how you think I think he basically implies you guys all think that I've been buried now, but my talent isn't just in the ring. My talent is to create chaos. And then he admits the fact, which I had told you all along, which was that he's the hacker, and he says that a corrupt company couldn't make. When I love this promo.
Oh, it was a great promo. See, he comes back with a great promo, man.
And when he says, when I was sitting at home because this company didn't know how to make money with a man named Mustafa.
That's a great line, wasn't it?
When the company itself told him, well, we're not going to call you Mustafa anymore. We're just going to call you Ali. I mean, it's you know why it's great? Because it's true.
True. It's always the best when it's true.
And because he was able to go to creative and say, here's a problem with what I have that you've done to me. I want to use it. It's what worked with Punk.
Mm-hmm.
It's what worked with Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's what works. It's what will work with him.
Yeah.
With whoever it is, because when you make a mistake, in the company, in this case, the company has to sign off on it. But when you make when they make a mistake about you, and you are allowed to go in there and correct that mistake and blatantly throw it in their face on television,
Yeah.
it rings good. It worked for Drew McIntyre.
Worked for Kofi.
Absolutely. Well, that's part of the story too.
Uh-huh.
Of course, with Kofi replacing Ali and getting Ali's push, right? And then he says, these good, talented people behind me, I've promised will get their just due, and then he's implying that what just happened to us is not the end; it's merely the beginning. And to me, it also felt like whenever you're in something with us, it's long term, because if
I'm not going to just come at you one way.
If Cedric Alexander is in your faction, I might be able to have a conversation where MVP is telling Lashley backstage, that guy, we're just using him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're not pure,
yeah,
I can get you. And that could give you, this show has so much potential.
It could.
Off screen.
If they do it, is my thing. If they take them out there and they get them their butts kicked every week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got to win.
You got to win something. And you got to make, I agree with the potential here.
I'm talking about the show outside of the ring has so much potential all of a sudden, because the Fiend comes at you in a way that's very cerebral.
Mm-hmm.
It makes weaves his way into your self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
If Ali can come at you in a way which
creates
splinters the relationships between you and the people around you and isolates you from your group, that can be played
a garden
out
of
really
mirrors.
Well. Absolutely, garden of mirrors. I love it.
That's what they call it in counterintelligence stuff. You put out so much information and you flood the zone with so much information, nobody knows what to believe. Therefore, your opponent gets decision frozen. They don't know. They're paranoid. Is this guy bad? Is this guy with me or is this guy against me? Is this guy with me or is this guy against me? And thus, their whole cohesiveness breaks down and you can take advantage.
Dude, this is totally off topic too, but when you say that, I feel like we all somewhat currently in pop culture, modern culture, live in some degree of a garden.
Oh, that's what that. Well, that's what.
Because you don't know for sure who's telling you the truth.
Yeah, that's the point.
Right. Right.
Don't get me on my conspiracy stuff.
And now for, if you like wrestling, if you like Luthez, this is it right here. The Miz and Morrison are going to fight Tuck and whoever the tag team partner he could possibly find on short notice with no friends. And he scours the globe and finds the luchador El Gran Gordito.
I think Gran Gordo? Gordito would have been like... The Gran Gordito would have been great, though.
Okay, and so this is... Otis winds up dressing up in pink mask and pink cape.
That was Otis?
And comes out, and it is over the top. And the match itself is a regular Miz Morrison versus Tuck and Otis match. The only thing different is he's in a cage.
Yes.
And it was great. And, of course, Otis goes over, and Otis has pinned
Well,
the
you
Miz
had the
him
R-Truth, Akira Tozawa.
to distract him. Again, though, now, I'm glad you brought that up because 24/7 shenanigans happens where Otis runs through the ring.
I mean, Truth.
Yes. Truth runs through the ring, past Otis, past The Miz, goes out, and The Miz gets furious as he sees that. And we're telling the story of The Miz becoming more and more, Dean Martin becoming more and more frustrated with Jerry Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around him is fun and games and jokes, and I can be clever without being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I can be a good wrestler without doing flips. I can be The Miz. I'm literally the face of this network, and all of you people are embarrassing us every week.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad for me and my brand.
Yeah.
Which runs across 3 or 4 different shows on this network.
Yes.
This isn't right. And that's the story. That's the emphasis of you wrestling Otis in a blatant ripoff of the Conquistadors.
Yes.
And it's a comedy shtick. He's in pink. He's got the which is nothing wrong with pink, but he never takes his cape off, which would be a disadvantage, you would think.
Yeah, he looks like Nacho Libre.
He looks amazingly like Nacho Libre, but bigger.
Yes.
And the R-Truth just heightens that, him interrupting the match, and that being the reason why he loses. Right? And I think it's a good story to be told.
If that's what they do, yeah.
I think that's where they're going with him altogether.
I hope you're not just reading into things, but I think it's good.
Well, I feel like too, you're not going to put Otis in a Money in the Bank match. We'll get there.
With Roman? Hell no.
So you've got to get it onto the other show, which means The Miz has to steal it somehow, right?
There you go.
You have to get there. Because The Miz walking around the show mad at the world with a legitimate champion is perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the way to go. Correct your route, whatever. Firefly Funhouse segment is up next, and I thought it was good. It wasn't great, but we did get the introduction of Alexa Bliss into the Funhouse, which I like because now we're going to go with her character on 2 different levels. One, the hey, I'm just glad to be here. I'm happy to be here with all the puppets and Bray in World of Happiness. And 2, I'm the muse of this evil character as well.
The Harbinger.
And you can go in so many directions.
Uh-huh. She's got the Freddy Krueger sweater on.
She did have the Freddy Krueger sweater on. Nice. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's Halloween every day in the Funhouse.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Okay. So let's go next. We have the main event of the evening. Braun versus Keith. And Big Boy Braun is pretty good. He's a bruiser. I didn't hate this match. You did hate it.
I hated the ending.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's jump there. You get the Keith has got Braun's head between his legs. He's probably going to power bomb him. Braun raises up very quickly in order to basically headbutt Keith in the balls, and then goes off the ring rope, kicks Keith in the face. Keith is 1, 2, 3 out. You hated that.
Hated it.
Okay. Braun's going heel. That's what just happened, right?
Braun's been a heel since he became the most evil son of a bitch in the world.
Okay.
He doesn't need to go heel. He's been a heel.
What did you think about post-match?
Still, dude, Keith Lee loses. Again.
Okay, so what happens post-match is Keith attacks. First, he kicks him square in the balls, pretty sternly. I hope that Braun wore a cup.
Yeah.
2, when he's down there, he tells him, "You're supposed to be a monster, and you just took the easy way out. You're a freaking coward." He's got him by the beard, and he punches him up a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was their way of getting Keith back his steam or whatever.
It's crap, dude, because he didn't win the match.
Well, they're not the company that says wins and losses matter.
Yeah, it's just, it bugs the crap out of me. Once again, you brought this dude up because you saw him. This goes great. He's going to be great. It's good stuff. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Then you get him up there and you got no plan.
Right.
So he wanders around in limbo.
Right.
And now you're using him to get over Braun Strowman's third, fourth heel turn here?
I thought that was the plot, but I think more importantly is the subplot. And I hope they're telling a subplot, and I can't promise that they are. But to me, more importantly would be the subplot, which is Keith is going to be willing to do things to put people down that we haven't seen on this version. We knew he would in NXT, but he did show he didn't take that loss. You know what I mean? He didn't go out of there.
Except for the L in the column.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, absolutely. Now we get
and
on
he's in a stupid shirt, and he comes out in stupid music. I'm just...
Okay. Orton versus Drew is next, and Orton, they lower the Hell in the Cell, which is what we're getting to thing, and Orton talks, and Drew comes out, and this did nothing for me.
Nothing. Because I've been seeing it for 3 months, like I've been seeing just about every other plot line.
Dude, they have got to get this match. And I fully expect this to be a great wrestling match.
It would be. It would have been a great wrestling match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's my point is, I mean, at this point, I just want to get it over with. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a this stinks kind of way. I just mean
it's just...
Let's go. We've done it.
The movie, 3-hour-long movies, sometimes, it doesn't matter how good it is. It's long.
Correct. And SmackDown is what is next on our wrestling or our sports entertainment week. And it was Daniel Bryan. Let me just say, we start my show out, you give me Kevin Owens talking to Daniel Bryan, and my ears have perked up. They are fantastic with the banter back and forth. Daniel is so quick-witted and almost kind in the way he puts people down. You know, you've turned on a lot of your friends.
Yeah, dude, after Kevin... Strangely enough, I've never had tag team gold. You've betrayed a lot of your friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then we
jump past that.
Yeah, we went. Yeah, right over that. And then Dolph comes out and gives you all the good Van Halen references about how he's hot for teacher and he wants to jump. I wanted to figure out how he could say, "Hey, women and children first" would have been nice, but he didn't get that. But
he worked in like 5.
Yeah. If there was anybody, if we could have got a Janie's crying in there, that would have been nice.
Yes.
Right. But anyway.
And he sets up, and Montez comes out and gives him the
Montez comes out next, Street Profits, and he says, "You guys look like you could have come from 1984," which we're 100% sure that Dolph told him because that's the name of a Van Halen album.
Yes.
He says, "Joke's on you. That's the greatest album of all time." And it's not, but it's really good.
It's a really good album.
If you don't know your Van Halen, that's Hot for Teacher, that's Jump, that's Panama, just to get started.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, wow, what a record. Okay, and then you wind up with Knock and Cesaro coming out, and Daniel says to Kevin, maybe we should find out how good a tag team we'd be right now, and fisticuffs Lafleur. And always late to the party, Adam Pearce comes out and turns this into a match when we get back. Kevin Owens, Dawkins, Daniel Bryan, Montez Ford are wrestling, Dolph, Rude, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro. And this is quite a collection of talent. Daniel Bryan seems to change clothes incredibly quickly.
Yes.
And we get a match in which Daniel sells a knee injury. We get tour de force performances from every single one of the 8 performers. Mm-hmm. And then the ending of all these 8-man tags have to be crazy. And this one winds up with Dawkins taking Cesaro holding Dawkins down holding Dawkins, who's a very large man, at waist level
in a gut wrench,
while Shinsuke gives him a knee to the forehead. Then he manages to turn that into some form of a gut wrench, suplex, power bomb.
Yeah.
And that's just the start of the sequence. Kicks to the head. Daniel Bryan dives onto Shinsuke. KO dives onto whoever else is left outside the ring. Ford leaps out of the roof again. And I like what your quote when we were watching this together was, I've seen RVD do it. I've seen Eddie Guerrero do it. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And you didn't even bother to clarify that it was a frog splash.
No, dude.
He jumps 12 feet in the air off a 5-foot post and lands on somebody. It looks
so amazing when he does it.
It's almost like he pauses when he gets to the top.
Yes!
It's Jordan-esque.
It is. That's very good.
How when Jordan would go go for the dunk and it looked like he just started to float.
Yeah. He's flying in midair.
It's very Jordan-esque how he does that. It's amazing. 1, 2, 3, loved it. And it's court time because we love courts. Otis and The Miz.
Or Law and Otis.
Law and Otis with the People's Court music. And we have a collection of characters here. We have Otis to start with, a lawyer, Ms. Morrison, JBL is your judge, Ron Simmons
is your bailiff.
And we have a perfect scenario. We do not know who the
court reporter is yet.
But we'll get there. Stenographer is yet, but we'll get there. Basically, The Miz gives an argument of all these different things as to why Otis shouldn't have the belt, and Otis replies with, "Yeah, but I want it." And
that's a good argument. The lawyer's like, "That's a good argument."
The Miz's lawyer says it's a good argument, which gets her promptly fired. Moving on to the next segment, match time. We have blue hair, blue lipstick, SmackDown clad Bianca Belair wrestling Zelina Vega, and this is a fantastic match. Now, she comes out first, and before that, there is a segment backstage where Daniel Bryan, who is not up on current terms, evidently, tells all the fellas to fist him.
Yeah.
To which he meant fist bumps.
Yes.
Which, I to my knowledge, that's the only meaning.
Yes, that's all I know.
Okay.
I don't know what you're even talking about.
And so
why you brought that up.
And so then Sammy comes up, and
Daniel Bryan earlier said his vision for the Intercontinental Championships is for it to be basically a TV championship, which being every time SmackDown was on television, the championship has to be defended.
Correct. And Daniel has made this argument before. It's not new to Daniel. He wants to work every night and build stars and give you great matches and all that. And Sammy, who is the current Intercontinental title, lets him know that is absolutely not Sammy's vision, and that since it is Sammy's title, this is not really his business.
Step off, son.
And what we have noticed now here, we're I'll get to Bianca in a second. We're 30 minutes into the thing, and we have Shinsuke, Cesaro, Dolph, Roode, Owens,
Daniel Bryan.
We're going to get Seth and Roman.
The
Usos. Everybody on this show that we're talking about here can flat out go and can flat out talk.
They've talent loaded
and have
the show.
A defined character.
Yes.
And all of their characters can easily, like all of the good guy characters and bad guy characters, can easily be at odds with one another because of who they are as established as it's perfect. The way they have here is perfect.
Wonderful palette to tell stories from.
For this year.
If they do it. And I really like the idea of the Intercontinental Championship being like a TV championship. I like that.
Well, that's what it always has been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless certain people have it. And then their shtick is, I don't want to defend it. Which, if you have something you don't want to lose, best way to do is not put it up for grabs. Great match here between Bianca Belair and Zelina Vega. They've been pumping Bianca up. It is a tour de force performance. She showcases her size and strength and her athleticism. Vega is incredibly good. They have a almost cheerleader style powerlifting thing where Vega wraps her arms around Belair's arms in order to prevent her supposedly picking her up, but in reality, it's to support her. And like you said, they had to have worked on this.
Had her legs around her right arm, had her arms around her left
arm.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, don't hurt me anymore. And Bianca says, watch this. And she squats her, clean and jerks her, military presses her, switches her grip, throws her. My God.
Ridiculous. Both of them. Bianca is showing incredible strength and power, but it's core strength of Zelina Vega to hold herself steady like that.
She's got the core strength of a snake.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is hard to do. Both of them, that's great. That move is not a one-person move. It's a two-person move, and they both did it great.
Absolutely.
But Bianca Belair is a superstar. And
Zelina Vega has been a revelation since they let her wrestle.
Yes,
she's great.
Those of us who've seen her wrestle knew, but everybody else was like, "Oh my God!" Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Now, Shorty G is going to face Lars Sullivan, and he thinks he's got a chance, which he doesn't. Lars runs through him fairly quickly. I think the key takeaway here is that Shorty quits on us. We'll find out more about that in a little bit, but they love Sullivan, and to the point where they've had him go over very easily over an Olympic athlete. And they utilized...
They had him go over most of the roster the other day.
At this point, I don't know that there's anybody hasn't beat up. He hasn't beaten up. But also, they utilized him to create a new avenue of the show in which Shorty's character completely changes.
Thank God.
Which is great. Everybody's excited about that. Okay. Alicia Alicia? What did...
I don't know.
Aaliyah.
Oh, Aaliyah.
He named her after the singer, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I believe he named her after the singer.
Of course he did.
Dude, she was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, have you ever seen that interview of the vampire movie?
Yes. Where she was
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
That is great, by the way.
It's an underrated movie.
Yeah.
It's a good vampire movie.
Absolutely. She's great.
Yes.
What's the one she's in with Jet Li?
Romeo Must Die.
She's good in that. Jet Li doesn't do bad movies.
No, not if you're just into fun action movies.
Right, the ones he did over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember the one?
Oh, dude, I love that movie.
What about the one where he's a dog?
That is one of the best movies.
Ever.
That's a real movie. That is a real movie. That's an action art movie right there.
Dude, there's a fight scene in there where they're either in a bathway or a hallway. It's like 2 feet between them, and they just tear the whole thing up. It is so
the dude in the
good.
white
maybe the best fight scene ever.
Yeah, the dude in the white robe stuff that was like in that building fight scene. Yeah,
it's unfreaking real.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that on a movie podcast.
Oh yeah, The Raid kind of drew from a lot from.
Absolutely, The Raid is off the chain.
Oh, dude, if you haven't seen that, there's a recommendation.
Right. Okay, so we wind up where she's watching. Seth has done an interview where Seth does an interview where he lets you know that later tonight he's requested a match for Murphy because the poor commentator says something about
Murphy joining in on the fun of beating up Seth.
Right, and he says
you think that's fun?
Right, and he goes all in about how Murphy is a follower, I'm a leader, I'm going to show him the pecking order of this thing in a little while. Let's go. And all this is fine. Roman is disgusted by his fruit tray and cheese tray.
He's not happy with it, man.
Well, you know what? Roman Reigns should be getting fresh food.
Yeah, I don't think he has a point there.
I take one look at Roman Reigns and I'm not thinking he's eating bruschetta.
No.
You know what I mean? That guy's in shape. He's not eating bruschetta. He's not eating bread. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He's eating live meat. I don't know.
That's
actually wasn't there a finding that most of the warriors in like ancient Rome ate berries and stuff?
I don't know, but that's interesting.
I think I read that somewhere that they were mostly like fruit.
That's
vegetables,
vegetarian.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like the aristocracy ate other stuff, but those guys that actually had to fight had to be able to.
Yeah,
which is counterintuitive, right, to what you've been taught all your life, but makes total sense when you put things in order. Why you would be in shape physically. Was that about wrestling at all?
No.
Okay, good.
It's okay, though.
Yeah, it is okay. It is okay. Okay, now Bayley comes out to the ring, and she will not sign this contract. Sasha comes out, says you will. They wind up with an awkward tug of war over the title belt, to which Sasha wins.
By kneeing her in the face.
And then she puts a chair over her neck. Bayley squirms to get away, and Sasha has her now in a submission hold with the chair on her and forces her to sign the contract.
Yes.
And I am 100% sure if we'll take that contract down to the court, we can get this thrown out because that was under duress. Under duress, yes. But
the Del Rio exception. Speaking of Del Rio, because CM Punk doing the whole thing where he choked him until he agreed to the match.
Del Rio's thread runs through all of wrestling and a lot of holding cells.
Yeah. Probably federal prison.
Yes. Okay. Gable has quit, but not really. Shorty G quit.
He's quit being Shorty G, which is the greatest news I've heard in a long time.
Right, and I did like the fact that he pointed out that a guy who thinks he can get over, he's going to be a heel, obviously. A guy who thinks he can get over through hard work and determination can't, but an Olympian can.
Yeah.
And I have a long list of accomplishments. It's very long.
Yes.
Trust me. He went full Kurt Angle.
Full Kurt. I didn't get it when you first, until you said it. I was like, yeah, that is definitely a Kurt Angle promo.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a Kurt Angle heel promo.
Enough truth. Enough. I'm the man because I broke my freaking neck. Gold medals, and I'm intimidating because I can snap your arm at any moment.
With some weird awkwardness.
I'm completely awkward.
Yeah, very awkward man.
Yeah. Okay, Morrison is in court testifying, and it hurt his heart what's been going on with him. And then he said that he did say that Otis has been accused of assaulting many people. Then you wind up with Rey Mysterio testifying that Otis did actually win, therefore he's got a year to defend it. The silliness. This truth is, I don't know, he's speaking words now.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of speaking words, Otis is referring to the dictionary in front of him as the book he needs to help him. And as we pointed out, the dictionary is quite a book.
Yeah.
But what did you say?
I said once you've read the dictionary, every other book's just a remix.
Correct. Every book is in the dictionary.
Yes.
In one way or another.
In one way or another.
Okay.
Just remix the words.
Right. And so then Tuck comes out and gives a heartfelt, you've been trying to ruin his life thing, and it works well. And then we're going to get an answer in the next segment after he goes
after
away.
You find out, after they have an adjournment, and you find out who the court reporter was. Teddy Long.
Teddy Long is your court reporter, and when they
when Asuka testifies,
does not speak any English, and none of them knew what on earth she was saying. Teddy Long says he got all of it on the stenographer thing, and to which she replies, holla, 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 which was Teddy Long's callback.
Yeah, buddy.
We adjourn. Teddy Long lets us know that he's got to pee.
Yeah, dude.
I got to pee. What did he call? I gotta pee, player.
Yeah, dude.
And then he walks right by. Ron Simmons seems disgusted by all of what goes on.
Everything that's going on.
I'm not sure if he's just being Ron Simmons or if he's being Farouk here, but he's disgusted. Layfield comes back and says...
This is how Farouk thought the justice system worked.
Yes, correct. And so Layfield lets everybody know that this is pretty much silly, that all of this... he's been challenging you to fight all the time is basically a WWE requirement to have a job here anyway.
Yeah, providing an unsafe work environment. If that got you in trouble, me and Ron Simmons would be serving a life sentence.
Correct.
You should have said, ask Public Enemy about it.
or anybody. And then that turned into the Miz stopping him before the thing because there's one more piece of evidence he wants to enter in, which was a briefcase full of money.
$1 Million Man style, baby.
Yes. And Layfield accepts, rules in favor of the Miz, and we have a match at
Hell in a Cell
for Otis's briefcase, which is going to be great and going to right the wrong of getting Otis the briefcase in the first place.
Because he shouldn't have had that.
That's
his fault.
He's
That's not
too nice of a guy. You haven't told his character in a way where it makes any sense that he would run up there and sneak up and try to utilize it like that.
Or that he would have any chance if you faced...
Or that he would just be mad at somebody or want to fight a good guy. Or you just haven't told that story with him yet. You could. But, but
you've been too busy making him do caterpillars and date Mandy Rose.
Yes. If you hadn't had him in the program with Mandy... You probably could have done that, but you were busy. Those 7 minutes he gets an episode were kissing.
Yeah.
So.
And eating ham.
Or watching him swim and rub water all over himself, which was just so.
What did I ever do to you, Vincent,
epic.
man? What did I ever do to you?
So beautiful. Okay, now I'm having to try to concentrate here. Now we get an actual match.
Really? That happened?
With Murphy and Rollins.
What a match.
And oh my God, Seth is still that guy.
Seth is still that guy, and Murphy's
a better, like, Murphy's moveset is better than Seth's.
I know, and that's hard to imagine, but it truly is.
And John Moxley once said Seth is kind of a ninja out there.
Yeah.
You know, he can pretty much whatever it is, and he's the evolution of a Shawn Michaels character in that he's big enough to do things with the big guys. He's small enough to do what all the small guys can do.
Yeah.
You can throw him in ways that are awkward and he can land.
Uh-huh.
You know, that kind of stuff. This match was...
And Murphy, dude. And Murphy's ripped.
Yes, and I'll tell you this. Behind the scene, whatever, Murphy being around Seth has helped his ring
enormously.
work. The matches he had with...
Aleister Black.
With Black, yeah, but that was with Aleister Black.
Yeah.
He had a match really, really good with a first timer.
Yeah, with Dominic.
We have yet to see Dominic Mysterio have a bad match.
Yeah, because he's been in there with talent every time.
Thank you. And this is tour de force. The final sequence here, where Seth does the rolling elbow.
We sell the early injury, the early shoulder. Yeah, that kind of flows throughout the match.
Murphy acts like he separated his shoulder and pops it back in somehow.
Yeah.
And then, so every time
Lethal Weapon style.
So good. And every time we get Murphy has a chance to put this thing away, he can't because the arm gives way on him. He's going for the power bomb on Seth, and the arm gives way. Seth leans down to tell him how stupid he is, and he gets kicked in the mouth and goes unconscious again. And then you have all of these great spots between these two guys, and then you wind up where the finish is Helter Skelter, and Murphy's got him again for the win. Seth rolls off his back, pulls his arm down to the ground.
Does the arm ringer into the ground shoulder first.
Murphy sells that arm ringer like a gunshot.
Bam! Just headbutts himself.
And then Seth Thing hits the stomp. Still
1, 2, 3. No problem with this.
Perfect.
I don't mind Murphy losing this match because I think it advances the story of Murphy was dangerous enough to make the master go full force.
Absolutely.
But he's not there yet, which is the right story to tell.
Absolutely. And then Telenueva comes on.
Yeah.
And we go soap opera style.
Emilio Estevez.
we get the greatest
greatest shirt mustache combination of all time
when Dominic Mysterio comes out. But Aaliyah runs out. She tries to protect Murph because Seth has gone to the kendo stick, and Seth is beating him with the kendo stick. She stops him from it.
Dominic comes out for the save.
Seth jumps Dominic, and she does not leave
Murphy's side to help Dominic.
No, she lets him get beat. Ray comes out with the chair. Seth
Dominic.
retreats, and then she goes to Murph and
comforts
Murph away from the family.
Yes.
And that is kind of how the segment ends. And I didn't realize this. I may have talked through it, but we are going to get Dominic, Seth, and Murphy in a match.
I didn't see it either. I didn't get that announcement.
At Hell in a Cell, and I think that's going to be a banger.
Do you think here's an ending for you? Murphy gives Dominic the win over Seth.
I will get there. Let's finish the show out.
Yeah.
Because I thought that this show was amazing, but I thought the last 45 minutes was really amazing.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about the tournament or the pay-per-view. And so then Roman, after that's over, Roman comes out, and he's going to give us and tell us the actual terms that matter, not the stip, to Jay. I got fooled the first time I saw it because then it looked to me, because I just didn't think about it, because I haven't heard Jimmy talk a little while. He's got a mask over his face. He's got his hat on.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Jay in his room.
Yeah, he got me.
And I think he was supposed to, because Corey called it Twin Magic, famously the
Bella Twins.
Probably the greatest faction in the history of wrestling, the Bella Twins.
Without a doubt.
And so Jay says, you've had your tribal head up your tribal ass for so long. You've changed who you are, and I loved it. And then he says something to the effect of, "Don't take it from me, take it from my brother who's right behind you," as he unveils that he's Jimmy Uso. Roman turns into a punch. Roman gets an advantage, runs to spear Jay in the corner, misses, hits his shoulder there. Jay goes for a chair. That gets kicked out of his hand as Roman goes for the punch. The Superman punch, I believe. He gets super kicked in the face. Jay hits the splash. And we have seen Jay counter Roman's offense and put him down for a moment. Jay rolls out of the ring. You wanted him to go full on. I
wanted him to sell me on the fact that he might have a chance of winning this match for a few seconds. Not that he does, because that's not the story they're telling. But I wanted them to give me a little bit more. It doesn't make any sense for him just to hit him once. He brought the chair to the ring, dude. The chair's right there. Wait, land with the chair a couple times.
Right. So then Roman arises. It seems fairly, although he's beat up a little, he's undaunted by what has just happened. It hasn't fazed him at all.
No.
And Paul goes to hand him the belt, and he looks at Paul and, "No, I don't want the belt. Give me that microphone."
I know. I love that was subtle, but it was so important and good.
It was so important.
The interactions between him and Paul Heyman.
Yeah, and the fact that Roman did not bend down to pick up the microphone.
No.
I'm the king.
You bring it to me.
You give me that microphone.
Yeah. Do you think, and I bet, I'm just because I know him, his work, that is all Paul Heyman?
I don't know, because
I think Roman's really good, but I think it feels like Paul Heyman telling him,
Dude, you almost feel like Roman is sitting around watching movies that have to do with these topics.
Oh, I could see it, but the way that Paul gets across.
Oh, yes.
Like when he was doing the cheese and berries thing, Paul was standing behind him and just acting like a waiter almost. He's so good. Living in fear, but in awe.
Oh yeah. Of the presence of the royalty, which
this dude that has really come into his own, and I just happen to be here for it.
I'm here for the ride.
Yeah,
I'm lucky enough to get to. I've ridden lightning bolts, and I'm lucky enough to find another one.
Yeah, right here. When I thought I was out the door, I find a lightning bolt. Right. I love it, dude.
And then
which makes his inevitable betrayal at some point.
Yes.
All the better.
Yes. Now, when Roman begins to speak, you have the Usos partying at the top. Not partying, but they're very happy with themselves by what they've done. Roman says, "It's all fun and games to you guys." He says, "If I lose, I'm not going to be the champ. I won't be the head of the family anymore. I can live with that. If you lose, you'll be the champ. I mean, if you lose, you won't.
I make you say I quit.
When I make you say I quit, and trust me, I will make you say I quit. You will fall in line. You will acknowledge me for who I am, not only in the wrestling world, but who I am in this family. You will acknowledge that I've been the one putting the food on our tables.
Yes.
This whole time. And you will, and if you can't live with that, you're out.
You're out of the family.
Not out of wrestling. You're out of the family. We will turn our backs on you, and since you decided to bring your brother in this, him too.
His wife, his kids.
Your wife, your kids, they're done. They're not in the Samoan dynasty anymore. You're absolutely done. And I thought that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And so not about, dude, it felt mafia. It felt tribal. It felt all those things it needed to feel.
Yes.
And Roman is killing it. And it was the first time I've ever heard Roman do a promo where I thought, if that dude was in a room and I was in a room and I saw him heating up, I would get out.
Yeah, damn Skippy.
Because he looked...
his intimidation factor is
formidable.
Way up there, dude. Because he doesn't feel fake anymore to me. He feels comfortable in his own skin.
Well, here's the thing, too, about Roman. Behind the scenes, it's always been true. He went to Georgia Tech.
Dude, smart, man.
And when he talks on ESPN or he talks on Good Morning America, he always comes off as polite, certain, assured of himself.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't always get that in the ring.
Mm-mm.
One of the more intimidating things you can have in a physical presence is I'm not only big and strong and agile and all those things. I'm smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm smart to the point of there will not be a scenario I haven't thought out.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot come up with a way to out physical me, out challenge me mentally. This is mine.
Yeah.
It's all mine.
Uh-huh.
And he's achieved that status. And Paul, and to your credit, Justin, Paul's the one who makes you, because Paul didn't necessarily, his interactions with Brock Lesnar were subtly different from what this is.
Yes.
There's a fear there and a luckiness. And it's so different because Roman's the one talking.
Yeah. Brock.
The greatest talker in the company is not talking.
No.
Roman is.
Brock always felt like Paul Heyman was like the handler.
Right.
I've got this monster here on a leash. Y'all should be thankful to me that I rein him in and keep him from mauling everybody here.
Right.
You know, and that was the cool dynamic they had.
Absolutely.
This dynamic is completely different.
And so cool.
Oh, yeah. Paul Heyman was like, this dude's not only a fierce fighter, his mental game is ahead of everybody else's.
Absolutely. KO versus Aleister at Hell in a Cell. Who you got?
Man, I hope for finally some 50-50 booking here because Aleister's taking the L every time, and I hope Aleister Black wins this.
Aleister has to win because Kevin Owens is going back to the tag team division, right?
I would think so.
He's got nothing to gain by this.
No.
Now, Miz versus Otis. Miz wins, right?
I think so.
Takes the belt away.
That's where I think they're going with. I don't understand why they wouldn't.
Well, if not, then what was all this about anyway? Bayley.
Great legal drama, my friend. Great legal drama.
Bayley versus Sasha.
Sasha.
Sasha has to go over.
I think that's just the way you got to go with that one, too.
Drew Orton.
Oh, man. Oh. I think... do they have him beat Orton 3 times in a row?
I think he does.
Do you think there's interference?
No.
You think it's clean win?
Right, because I think he won due to interference last time. So I think he goes over clean this time to solidify that dude ain't on my level right now, and he's a Hall of Famer. Therefore, I'm what matters.
Okay. I can go. I think, that's what I think they should do, but I don't know if they will do it.
Jesus, if Orton wins, we get another month of this crap.
Yeah, easily.
And I really
get to WrestleMania with this crap.
Let me be fair. I really enjoyed up till last week, I think. The promos and the whole work. It's just at some point.
I want something else. I've got how many people on this show?
And at least as much as the Seth, Dominic, and all that stuff gets crazy with me, at least that has matches involved. Mm-hmm. These guys aren't even touching each other but once a month. Mm-hmm. Like when the bell rings and they wrestle. You know what I mean? But like I said, it was really great up until it wasn't.
Unless there's some wonky tag team match where they 30 seconds of each other and then...
Yeah. Now we get Dom versus Seth versus Murph. We believe in a 3-way dance, and I believe that Murph takes the bullet for Dom.
Dominic gets the win.
Murph takes the bullet for Dom. Dom gets the win to go over Seth.
Yes.
And that, I believe, is your... Dude, and you know what I would do? I wouldn't go further down the hey, she likes Murphy road. I wouldn't do that because that's just
why?
It's just a minefield that's unneeded.
Why do we need to do that?
But what you could do is get Dom away from his dad a little bit. Put him in a tag team with Murphy. Mm-hmm. And let them tear it up.
Well, let Murphy work with that dude
side by side for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let somebody other than his dad be the guy with
Let's
him.
get in the gym. Let's me and you work, and we're going to work on our stuff together. And I think that he would be a better wrestler for it. And he's worked with some great guys already.
Dude, and tell Murphy to buy that kid a gym membership and take him to the gym.
Yes. He's got to get some muscle on him.
Those supplements you use, Murph, to keep yourself so stout?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the key question. Roman J.
I mean, it's not really a question.
Roman goes over. How? You want me to get specific on a booking of how this goes?
Yeah, I want to hear it. I want to hear your fantasy book for this.
Jay gets handcuffed. Jimmy comes down to try to help him because he's handcuffed. Jay can't help Jimmy. Roman pummels Jimmy with the bad leg to the point that Jay has to quit
To save his brother.
in order to keep his brother able to work because he'd lose.
That's a great one.
Lose the leg.
That's a great way to do it. That's a great way to do it. I like that version.
It gives Jay's the kid that you can punch to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He won't quit.
Yeah.
You saw when they lowered the cage around Roman, you saw like I said earlier, this just got real moments in Jay's eyes. But then you saw who he is as a character, because when he is scared, he runs into danger rather than away from it.
Yeah.
His fight or flight always ends in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he went straight to the thing that scared him, and he climbed the cage. That's who that kid is. He's not going to quit.
He'll quit for somebody else, though.
His brother. And that's why they wind up having to do it.
I like that. I like that win.
It's the ending that makes the most sense.
Yes.
Unless you want to do something stupid to go with the Rock Mankind ending, right?
Yeah.
Where he holds the mic and looks into the sky and you hear "I quit" and he never really said it.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't do that. I would go that route. You think?
I like that.
Great week, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Good deal. All right, 4 Go Home Heat Productions, copyright 2020 for Justin, for KP. Go home.